Welcome to Optimistic Opportunities. I am Carl Johnson, and over there to my right is Rachael Elliott. Say hey, Rachael.
Hey, everybody.
Rachael Elliott is the Associate Manager at Coldwell Banker, Howard Perry & Walston in the Chapel Hill office, which is actually where I am as well. And we very quickly, in the first few minutes that we met each other, became BFFs. And so she's here to shine on us some of her positivity and insights today. So you are absolutely in for a treat. She always has a smile on her face. She is always trying to help people. She's always trying to problem solve. What can I do for you? That's why she's here today. She's just a bundle of awesomeness.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So we'll just jump on into the questions. So what has helped you see the bright side of things since this Corona incident and restart has happened in our lives here?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely been a crazy, crazy time and year. And I think everyone's sick of hearing the word unprecedented, but it's definitely been unprecedented for a lot of things. And so for me, that has helped seeing the bright side of things is where I'm putting my focus, what I'm putting my focus on, and just making a really conscious effort to not let the negative noise, I call it noise, get to me or interfere with my mindset. I focus on positive things. I love feeding off positive energy of others and just kind of keeping the naysayers noise out. Helping others, thank you for saying that, Carl, is a passion of mine. So when I see others have success, whether it's my agents, clients, friends, family, just really focusing on that and the good that is in the world, because it's never all bad, it's never all good. And so when you can just focus on the positive, I think that helps create optimism.
Definitely. And some of the things we've uncovered in previous episodes. And by the way, this is, I believe, our 21st week of doing awesome. This show.
Congratulations, Carl.
Thank you so much. And we're booked out 4 weeks in advance with guests already still now. I feel so blessed to have all those amazing people in my life that just at the drop of a hat, I ask them and they're like, yes. And I'm like, wow, there's been 25 people now that have said that to me.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so honored. But one of the things that has been interesting about doing this show is there's been a constant sort of thought where it's also important to pay attention to the negative, what's happening in the negative as well, because then it doesn't gain power over you and you can let it go and then you can move on.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the greatest feelings is when you go through a negative situation or a negative, just difficult time in your life. And afterwards, getting through that, looking back and realizing how much you've grown personally, mentally, emotionally, it's just an awesome feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And not that real estate has ups and downs and crazy things that happen. So it's, sometimes you have to barely notice the negative stuff that goes on. So you just keep going.
Right. It's like, what's important? What do I need to worry about, focus on? And if it's just a negative noise, don't worry about it.
Yeah. And I also, love feeding off the positive energy of others. Surrounding myself with people like you and other people that are positive and are life-giving is really important to me. That helps.
Exactly.
And that's actually one of my reasons I love continuing to do Optimistic Opportunities on Wednesdays at 1, is because I get to interact with people I really like and respect or know or barely know, and have that connection. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
So what ways are you addressing struggles?
I mean, I think, like I said, I try to focus on the positive. something that my aunt told me years back was, Rachel, focus on what you can control. And so I really just try to focus on what I have control over in my life, in my personal life, and my friends, family, and my work life. And then just really let go of the rest. It's really a conscious and a constant effort to remain positive. And, if something negative is going on, I've learned it's okay to not be okay. I mean, to feel is human, and there's no human on this planet that is happy 100% of the time. And I've really learned to just give myself a break every now and then, if I need it, and just kind of reset, and just know that it's okay not to be okay sometimes, but just to focus on what I can control. And if I need, a mental day or something like that, I'll take it. Because there's a lot of, negative going around. And Carl, I mean, I really have to hand it to you. It's so nice and refreshing that you set this goal of optimistic opportunities during such a difficult environment, to spread positivity, because there's so much negative out there online, just all over. So it's very inspiring. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was just like, I kept on trying to think about, like, how can I connect with people during this time? And how can I make a difference? Is there something I can do? And I was just like, well, my dad kind of like gave me, I think, the inspiration. He passed away, like, gosh, my daughter's 13 now. So that was 11 and a half years ago. And so you go, well, how are you doing today, Arthur? His name was Arthur. My middle name is Arthur. Optimistic, thank you.
Yeah.
Always his answer. Always. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So it was just kind of like I was thinking about, like, the show, and I was like, well, what am I going to call it? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so interesting. That just, rang true and came through for this. It was interesting.
I love that. I didn't know that your dad was the inspiration for this, but I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah. In some ways he was. Yeah. So I think the other thing that people might not know about me is, when I get home, I kind of like shut down, turn off. I'm not always like this smiling and happy and energetic. There has to be a yin to my yang.
Right.
And I do shut down sometimes for a day. I'm like, I just need to do nothing today.
Yeah.
So I do that sometimes too.
Yeah. I feel like a battery, like I need to recharge myself sometimes.
Yeah. So what have you learned about yourself during this reset?
I think if I'm looking at the difference between now and pre-reset, I guess we'll call it, I think I've focused on what's truly important with me. That's, others, making a positive impact in the lives of others, and how I can be more supportive to friends, family, agents within the office and community, clients. And like I said at the beginning, seeing others have success really has helped me see the bright side of things, and seeing other people come out of this negative time stronger, and myself as well. It's totally a passion of mine, and that helps me stay positive. So I've really learned what's, I think, truly important. Obviously that it's okay not to be okay sometimes, and if we need to give ourselves a break, that's okay. And we shouldn't beat ourselves up for things. I would say others are more important to me now more than ever. Before, I've noticed myself, I dress more casually. I don't feel like I have to wear, I mean, this might sound silly, but like as much makeup as I used to. And it's just, those things just don't seem as important to me now than ever, or than it was before. It's like, there's so many more important things in the world than vanity and yourself and stuff like that. So I feel a lot more grounded than I really ever have before. And that partly probably came from just spending a lot of time alone. At the beginning, living alone and working completely from home. And I love now that I can be in the office and we can social distance and we check temperatures and wear masks and everything. But it just, what's truly important, I would say, is what I've learned about myself is that I just feel more grounded.
And that brings up the other, sort of go rogue here. That brings up the other thing that we've talked about with some other guests is how it's been a reset, and how people have experienced life in a different way now. And are we going to go back to the way that things used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Are people going to get back in those same habits?
Right.
Were
Right.
all those habits good habits?
Right.
So, are people just going to go back to those habits just because that's what they did? Or are people going to stop and think and be like, okay, well, I got to spend more time with my dog. My dog's actually sitting on the sofa across the living room from me right now. I'm at home working when I'm not with clients, with my daughter doing distance learning from home.
Mm-hmm.
She goes and does work stuff with me. She'll shoot videos for me for listings and stuff for my video walkthroughs. And, we get to spend more time than we used to. And it's kind of like, am I going to go back to being in the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 when I'm not with clients?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that a good habit for me?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, do I prefer having some meetings online so I don't have to get to the office at that time?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys get more people interacting in the meetings because of it? Maybe. It's just sort of like there's all these questions that I think about, and I'm like,
yeah,
not just the work ones, but the personal ones. And, I only go out and eat on patios now. I won't go inside and eat anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have friends that go see movies inside, and I'm like, I don't think I could do that.
I have not done that yet.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've also learned that just going back, I mean, positivity, I think, is more important now than ever. And just really, really realizing that it's a conscious effort to remain positive and find the silver linings in struggles and in difficult times.
Like, I've been working really, really hard to stay connected with people.
Right, you have.
And calling people and saying, how are you? How are things going? Are you okay? How's your family, your friends? And that's just been such a nice thing to continue to connect with people, where I don't want to stop doing that after this.
I think that's a good point. Yeah, because, before a lot of reaching out to people, especially for me in my role, it was about work and business and what are you doing for your business and how is that? And now it's just a lot of connecting with people on a deeper, more personal level, and not just picking up the phone to talk about how their deal is going, but how are you doing mentally, personally? How is your spouse doing? How are your kids doing? I mean, those are questions that I find myself asking more so now than ever. Whereas before it was, it's not just a business relationship. There's a personal side of things too. So I've learned that as well.
Yeah. And the one thing I've felt a little more comfortable with lately is I've gone out to dinner on patios with some friends lately. I'm doing that a little more regularly. I'm doing another one tomorrow.
Nice.
And one on Friday. And so, I mean, that's felt really good to get back to going out, sitting socially distancing on patios with a friend. And it's been nice to sort of re-engage and connect in person some. That's been different.
Right.
Trying to find more patios to go to.
Where are those patios at? Yeah.
Yeah. A past guest just had a double nickel birthday, so we're going next Tuesday to celebrate her birthday on a patio.
Nice.
So, so yeah.
Yeah.
And this Thursday, actually, we're celebrating my birthday, which was in March, and her birthday, which was also a while ago. And so we're finally getting together to have our birthday lunch instead of having two, one close to our birthdays, one together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's interesting sort of catching up with those friends and those routines that I had, but realizing that those are the important routines, I guess.
Right. Right.
Those are the helpful routines that are more life-giving and not like the hamster on the wheel routine where you get hungry or you need a drink and you're still on the wheel and you have to get off and you're like, why was I on that wheel?
Mm-hmm.
What was I doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
like in autopilot mode.
Instead of jumping off that wheel.
Right.
About jumping off that wheel, we're at time. So
yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, so much for taking a little bit of time out of your busy day today to jump on this Optimistic Opportunities 21st episode.
21. Yes.
21.
Special number. Well, thank you. I was honored. And again, I mean, I commend you so much just with your optimistic opportunities when there's so much negative out there, for you to set this goal and to stick to it. And now you're booked out 25 appointments. Just it's very inspiring. So thank you for your positivity. And I do think that being positive is a skill, and that is definitely one that you, Carl, possess. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday at 1 o'clock on Facebook Business. Now that we've got our software figured out, yay. This is a new software platform. Just found it this morning. Next week will be a very good friend of mine, Lauren McKirkland, who I've known for about 20 years now here in the community. She is the founder of Conscious Strong. So she's all about health and well-being and conscious, being mindfulness and such. So she'll bring some really interesting tools to us next week.
I'm looking forward to that.
Be sure to tune in then. So thanks so much. And as I always say, please remember to help one another, and let's go out there and remember that. So